So usually when I listen to music, I can only listen to a song so many times because any form of entertainment gets old, and music has a way of doing the same thing, and lyrics can only go so far usually, and even if they're poetic, like with one of my favorite bands, Avenged Sevenfold, I listen to their songs more than I do a lot of other artists that I listen to because I find their lyrics to be very poetic in a lot of different ways. And so re-listening, I hear certain things in a different light or from a different perspective on a different day, and it just makes me realize another meaning that I didn't catch before behind a line. But right now, I'm having a weird experience with music, specifically with Bo Burnham, and I'm sure you've seen me talking about him a lot on this channel lately. With Bo Burnham, it's like an endless well of meaning. I keep coming back, and it's pushing me back. Like, it's the album Inside is pushing me back to some of his older work, and like Make Happy and What. I'm going back to that. What less so, but Make Happy I'm due for a rewatch because of like all this stuff that I'm getting into, and I'm really realizing so much more meaning behind all this stuff that I thought I had figured out before. I've listened to Make Happy so many times, and I already thought it was really good and ingenious lyrics, very poetic in a lot of different ways, and very, just when I say poetic, I mean like very meticulously crafted lyrics and words that he uses throughout it, and performance to show you a very wide range of meanings that can be related or maybe not, but it's art, and you can extrapolate so many things from it. And I'm sure he didn't imagine all the things that I've extrapolated from it, because that's kind of what art is. You send it out into the world and people make it their own, quote unquote, by watching it and interpreting it in their own way. And that's kind of the beauty of art. And so maybe part of the beauty is leaving it open-ended in a formulaic way, or a very, not formulaic, but a very specially crafted way, so that you can get your meaning across, but leave it open for people to fill in their own gaps from their perspective. And there's something Bo Burnham said about that, about like leaving 40% of him open to other people's perspectives and what he does to other people's perspectives. That's not exactly what he said, so I'm going to shut up now before I take what he said way too much out of context. I haven't done research, so don't listen to that. But there's something there that is relevant to what I'm just saying about, like, if I can remember the quote correctly, about making something you want but leaving it open for interpretation at the same time by the audience. That's not the point of this video, though. It's just I'm having a new experience, like I said, with music, because every time I listen to a song from Inside and I find more meaning in it than I did before, or something clicks and I'm like, wow, okay, he meant this. And then I think I've got it all, and then I just listen to the music for some fun, and I feel like maybe I'm approaching a crossroad where I get tired and I move on to some other music because I've listened to it so much, and there's only so much you can have a song stuck in your head before you get completely tired of it. And then I watch a video essay about Inside, and it fucking blows my mind, the perspectives that I didn't think from, of lyrics being twisted, not like, twisted is the wrong word, being consumed, I guess, from a completely different viewpoint, and having my eyes opened to that viewpoint and considering the words in a way that I didn't think about at all in my several viewings of Inside, or the countless times I've listened to the album at this point. And I have to go back into it and listen to it again, and I just keep digging deeper and I find even more. And it might be a bit, I don't know, grandiose of me to say this about him, especially since I don't know anything about the guy. I mean, it is 100% a parasocial relationship, just like we're having right here, except for the few of you that I do know in real life. But the man is a genius when it comes to his art. And I mean that in the most sincere way I possibly can, because I've said that type of thing about Avenged Sevenfold before, and it's not that I don't mean it, but I cannot think of anything else that I could possibly describe Bo Burnham's art as outside of Genius. Not necessarily all of it, but most certainly Inside. Inside is most certainly Genius, and I am willing to say Make Happy is too, although I haven't gone back and reviewed it yet or re-listened to the albums a whole bunch. I still need to go back and do that. I'm very excited to do that just because of all the eye-opening things I've seen lately about him and his art. But, well, I shouldn't say about him, about the public presence that is him. Not that is him. Of him. That is not him. That is not to be confused with him. I have not the slightest concept of him himself, but I do, view this public persona that he puts out and just everything that's come to light with that. I'm very excited to go back to Make Happy with my eyes being opened and dig it back into that album and that Netflix special and just to have my mind blown again, because that's what Bo Burnham does all the time. Re-listening to the same songs over and over again, and somehow on your 15th listen of the album, you get your mind blown again, because you just didn't think about something a certain way, and whatever's going on with you that day, you think about it a slightly different way, and you realize, holy shit, Bo also meant this, or was also trying to say this, or implying something, and then you hear someone else's opinion about it, and it's a completely different take on what you got on his art, but completely relevant and very solid. Like, you can tell how Bo was trying to make a point there, and it's a point you never even considered of thinking. That is, by my opinion, that is what a genius artwork is. And another example that I've had a similar experience with is the movie Inglourious Basterds. Watched that with friends, and I've absolutely loved the completely different extrapolations of meaning that me and my friends have, and the discussions that ensue, and just so much, like, meaning from one film. I guess so many things to think about, and so much discussion coming from one film, and I love it. I really do love it. And that leads me to the question of this video. All of this does. How the fuck does one make Inside? How did Bo Burnham make Inside? I have a few ideas of things that could point me in the right direction, or other people in the right direction, but I think inherently that's a bad question, because I will never make Inside. I am not Bo Burnham in the year 2020, and I do not think exactly like him. I don't even know him. I cannot make Inside. But there's something out there that I can make. And that's what I aspire to make. Something that inspires discussion, that inspires thought for hours, days, months, in a person, even if it's just a person. I have that somewhere out there on my horizon. It took Bo 14 years before he made Inside, and a whole lot more very impactful things leading up to it. So, if that's my similar length of time journey, I've got 12 years to go. I have a feeling I have a bit longer, though. But I do see that on my horizon, and I guess the better question than how did Bo Burnham make Inside is, what questions do I need to be asking myself? How do I even make something like that? What do I even want to make? What's the point? Why am I making it? What I need to figure out, what I want to ask and what I want to say. This is a bit of a ramble, I know, but I had some thoughts, and for some reason, I decided that the world should know about them. As I decree it, the internet should know about my thoughts, because I will not shut up for even a single second. I don't know. I guess I'm clinging on to the hope that maybe one day I can say something meaningful, and I can do for other people what someone like Bo has done for me. That is, after all, my MO. If you haven't caught the gist of that, if you follow this channel, I want to give back to other people what some people have given to me. That's my entire MO. So that's what I'm here to do. And I'm thinking about it in a new light, but it's still the same MO. Thanks for watching. I don't know most of you, if this video gets any decent amount of views, and if it doesn't, then I probably know most of you. So I hope you got something out of this, and I'll see you in the next one.